If this is the front of the carburetor, we're looking at the driver's side idle needle, and we're making a note of the initial position, which is close to straight up and down, but just short of midnight. And we're supposed to run it in until it lightly seats. So we're going to count turns. Half, one turn, 1.5, 2 turns, 2.5.
That's it.
Passenger side idle needle is pointing at maybe 2 o'clock.
Yeah. 1.
Okay, let's count every half. Okay.
1.5. Oh, it stopped.
We got about 1 3/4 on this side. This is on the front of the carburetor. Way down low here, there is a vacuum port, but it's covered with a cap.
Want me to just start taking it apart?
Yeah, believe it or not, we can handle it that close to the camera. What size bolt heads are those?
5/16.
Like 5. I'm also going to point out that each one of these bolts has a little plastic washer underneath it. So now we're on the back of the carburetor. We have the carburetor sitting on a spacer that actually came off the car, but we're not planning to reinstall it. This was recommended in the instructions to keep from bending the throttle plates.
It peed on me.
Okay, those bolts are shorter than the others, are they not? Or are they?
Don't think so. It could be. Oh, they are way shorter.
Okay. So that's the kind of thing you want to make a note of because when you're putting it back together, you'll save time by using the right ones.
I just like wiggled it and pulled and then it fell off. This is what it looks like inside.
You could go ahead and take off that blue gasket.
I think I'm about to go back to
Okay. Now we're gonna try and do that on this side. Sorry. It came off.
This is called the secondary metering body, and the screws that hold it in, I don't know if you can see that, but they have a weird head. I have this DeWalt security bit kit, and it has a particular bit that looks like that seems to fit pretty decently in here, and we're hoping it'll work.
That's this.
It is?
Yeah.
So it is turning.
Yeah.
I really wish manufacturers wouldn't use little oddball screw heads. I mean, the only point of using something like that is to prevent people like us from working on their stuff. So that rectangular opening on top, that's one thing you might notice immediately.
Yeah.
don't you show that to the camera? Is there a gasket around the base of it, around the head?
There is. It's still in the carburetor.
Can you get it out?
Yeah.
I've been wondering what would happen if you did this. It just comes off.
Yeah.
It's the power valve. So that's the power valve gasket. Okay.
Oh, I can pull the spring off of this. Wow, that was a thrill.
It's an adjustment, so we're going to count turns.
A half. One. 1.5. 2. 2.5. 3. 3.5. 4. 4.5. 5. No, I'm gonna take it out. Yay!
Okay, that's good enough.
It's identical, I think. I have an injury that prevents me from pushing hard with my left arm. Ava, if you're watching this video, I don't appreciate the injury to my collarbone. Screw! Pop that off. It's really tiny.
Okay, can you show us now that that's off? Okay, there is a hole drilled through the rod. This clip goes right through it.
So it's pointing almost at this green wire.
Yep. Count out loud.
Half.
One.
1.5. 2. 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5.
That's all you get, and then it's tight?
Yeah. Don't laugh at me.
Easy. Hey, you may be reusing that. Be nice to it.
That allows me to pull off this piece.
Okay. Alright. Bolt right here. You're going to just leave it in place.
I guess.
What holds this rod in place right here? That rod?
This clip right here.
On a carburetor, bends make a big difference. In fact, some of them are considered adjustments.
So it goes like that.
I'm just saying it may be an adjustment.
Doesn't really seem like it.
Okay, so it almost looks like a wood screw. With its little tapered head and its little tapered tip, because it's going into some orange plastic. How does it come off? By taking that off, we don't have to soak it. And the instructions here specifically say, do not soak parts containing rubber or plastic. I suggest you be thinking about, how am I going to take this screw out without dropping it down into the carburetor?
I'm performing surgery. All my years of playing Operation, they're about to pay off.
So there's more that can come out?
Yep. There's a little gasket. I'm not really sure how to fix that. So it goes like this. And then the gasket goes under.
Is that a metal gasket or a rubber gasket?
I think it's metal.
No, so it's a washer.
Whoa.
What just came out?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I mean, this just came out, but I don't know where it came from.
And this hole that my screwdriver tip is on, there was a little pointed metal object. Some might call it a needle. It was freed up by taking off these things that were on there in this order. Screw, and then a metal piece, and then a metal washer underneath it that you can't see. Okay. Now, that all sat down in here. And then that frees up a needle, but the needle doesn't come out until you flip the carburetor over. It feels good in those screws? All 6 of the screws are just like this, and they all have a lock washer on the bottom side of them. Okay, so gasket, is that gasket symmetrical or is it asymmetrical?
Symmetrical.
Yeah.
Ew, what is that?
What is what?
There's just like some goo stuck here.
So, glue?
Yeah.
Tape? Something?
I think it's glue. If you spin this, there's this little metal piece in here that's pointing out, and it has a spring behind it. So it goes like that right in there.
And does that come apart?
Yeah. This went right in there like that.
What size nut is that?
5/16. Boom. Boom.
Yeah, I'm sure you can see that. I don't think the camera can. No. Okay.
Fuel.
So now you're dealing with the primary fuel bowl assembly.
Okay.
This.
And then another metal washer.
Work it, girl. I mean, not literally, like work it.
I know. I just think I've only ever heard that sentence like twice in my life. I think the other time it was Tyra Banks.
Well, that's good company, all right. So you're good.
But there's a smaller hole on this end, and it goes in there. Spring. Spring is boring. Can I take the spring out?
If it's that easy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Now that is a tapered spring. So which is the fat end and which is the
The
skinny?
fat end goes like by this, like that, and then the skinny end connects to like the float.
In a normal rebuild, the floats would be replaced. So I do think it's important to get that C-clip off.
Yeah, because it's small.
Okay.
SML. I'm pulling out this little spring. It goes like that. So one end is inside of this piece, metal piece, and the other end is outside. And then the hooked end with the little circle on it goes in the groove on this needle. Ooh. And that goes in like that.
What size wrench are you using there, Kailey?
A half. On to the next one. That came around that hole again. Small hole goes in first.
Oh my goodness. That's rough on the spring. You're being very rough on that spring.
So the big end was over here, small end over here. Taking off this C-clip. Oops. There's the C-clip. Skrr.
If you were putting this together, you could put that clip on the needle and then
Yeah.
then put everything inside
Like that.
right?
And then you can just pull the clip off the needle too. Now we're gonna take out these white plastic pieces. So this little clippy part, the little grabby part that's on this side, will grab onto the end with the hole on it. And then this little pokey up piece is gonna go through the hole on here.
Okay.
Nut, lock washer, whatever this is called. And then I'm gonna take these off at the same time.
And these are the throttle plates, and we're not taking them off because it says not to.